Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls. So, this time we are, I did a little bit of upgrading in between the episodes. I put a bunch of levels into Vitality and one into Endurance, I think. And down here, you can hide in this little corner here. If you don't want to take care of the dogs directly. Because they not smart. Was one? No, there was two of them. Okay. Yeah, there's usually two of them up here and then that guy a little bit further down. And if you just run around there, then they will two of them will just run it straight into the fire.
Somebody! Please let me out of here. Somebody! Anybody! Help me! Unlock the door! Damn, I'm finished. How did this ever happen? Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels. Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery. And I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
So we will talk more about Griggs later on, but the kind of interesting thing to note already is his outfit compared to the sorcerer's outfit that we find right next to him. You can see that there's clearly a lot of similarities, but the color is wrong. It's because we're picking up the normal sorcerer set and he's wearing the black sorcerer set. And we will see later on why that is kind of interesting. But he will now go back to Firelink Shrine and we will be able to talk to him later on. Oh, dang it. If you time that perfectly, then you can just swipe them with the running attack really well there. But I was a bit off with my timing. Here we have an ambush coming in that we can make a little bit easier for ourselves by killing one of them through the door. You could actually see him through the gap underneath the door as well, and that there's a treasure in there. These guys can be a little bit devious because they have a parry stance and they can do parry on you, and they also do poison damage. We find the mail breaker, it's just a letter opener, pretty much one of the lowest damaging weapons in the entire game. And what do you know? Another ambush. Whoop. There we go. The long thrusting attack of our R2 with this weapon being really helpful here. It's super good. Here we get one of my favorite sets in the entire game, to be honest. The thief set is just really nice. And like this hood works for so many armors. Like I think it looks really nice with our armor too. So we're gonna use that. Because we're medium rolling anyway, no matter what we do with that. So that's fine. We so I like to go down here and unlock the way back to Firelink Shrine before doing Capra, because I still never trust my ability to. That's a backstab. Okay. I still don't trust my ability to beat Kaerper Demon the first time. There's the vast majority of bosses in this game I'm really not worried about at all. But Kaerper Demon is just one of those that can mess me up, even though I've done him too many times. So I always like to go back and unlock the kind of shortcut back to Firelink Shrine, which will make the run back to the boss a bit easier than having to go from the Undead Berg all the way down again. Is one of my favorite NPCs in the game. Just love the voice acting here.
You still have your senses about you. Then why won't you buy some of my moss? I need your souls.
I think you should buy me a dinner first, lady.
This is a wonderful place, don't you think? We have water, moss, moisture, these nice iron bars. I like it here, I really do. Nothing good ever happened to me in life, but now that I'm undead, I've never been happier. You've come to this land at a bad time. There are nothing but hollows in these parts, save for me, of course. You're undead too, aren't you? You be careful then. Go down along the side to reach the depths of the Undead Berg. Only unkempt crooks and liars to be found there. Hardly a place for a lady like myself. But who knows? Maybe you'd fit right in.
A lady like myself.
You've come to this land.
Okay. I just love her, but I don't really know why. But I love her voice acting. So she sells some really nice things. The moss clumps are really good to have. I would say that buying a bunch of I would buy the blooming purple moss if you take the back way to Blighttown. If you take the normal way, then you kind of will end up finding enough of them anyway, in my experience. But if you go the back way, I would definitely pick up at least a couple of blooming purple moss clumps. Like 3 or so would probably be good. So she has some poison throwing knives. She sells some dung pie, charcoal pine resin, the transient curse. We haven't picked up the transient curse yet because we haven't been to New Londo. Temporary curse allows engagement with ghosts. The only way to fight back against ghosts who are cursed beings is to become cursed oneself. The safest method, however dreadful, is to cut off an arm of the undead. So this is an item that you can use to be temporarily cursed, which will allow you to attack ghosts in New Londo. It's really the only place in the game where you will need that. You can also attack them while being fully cursed, that you can get in the depths, for example, or down in the Great Hollow and a few other places, like the DLC, I think, has some. No, not the DLC. The Painted World of Ariamis, I think, has some too, maybe. I can't remember, but if you are cursed, then you can fight ghosts, and there's also one weapon that is that you can use instead of being cursed. But transient curses in New Londo is usually enough. Rotten resin just adds poison effect to your weapon. Prism stones is just stones that will mark areas on the floor for you to see if you can. Like you throw one stone out just to see if you can actually stand on it. It's gonna be useful later on. Much later on. It's not something that you need to buy right now. Charcoal pine resin is something that is really useful when going to the painted world. So I think I'm actually gonna pick up like 4 of them right now, just so that I don't forget about it later on. She also has some normal arrows and bolts, but she also possesses some fire arrows and poison arrows. But for now, I am happy with just that little bit of a charcoal pine resin. And now we'll leave this lady and we'll unlock this little door here that we could not open from the other side. Oop. And up here, like this is the way to the Undead Berg again, and over here we have the way to Firelink Shrine again. Tease the enemy on the other side of this a little bit. I'm just doing that. Ah! Ooh. Okay. I was not prepared for that. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Okay, well, that worked out. It was perfect. And now Griggs is here, and because we have 10 in intelligence, we can actually speak to him a little bit more. If I had not upgraded to +10, then he would have just said that we were too dumb to buy anything from him.
I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested? Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away.
So he sells just the kind of normal spells, like the normal just soul arrow. They've just kind of they're not really is super interesting in a lore perspective. Is engraved with an everlasting dragon and boosts the strength of sorceries. Yeah. The sorceries will become a little bit more interesting later on when we have Logan in the picture.
Goodbye then. Do stay safe.
But for right now in our playthrough, we don't really know what he is up to at all. You can see now when we go into our bonfire as well that we now have a covenant thingy because we joined the forest hunter covenant. With the remaster, you can actually switch between the covenants, whereas you couldn't do that before in the normal original Dark Souls. You had to leave one covenant and give up all of your ranks in the covenant to be able to join another one.
Well, Where have you been? I'm glad to see you're safe.
Have you heard of Trusty Patches? If ever a man has rubbed me up the wrong way, if he ever comes around again, I swear I'll have his hide.
He doesn't like Patches? Why? Patches is such a nice person.
Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
Some great foreshadowing there. Our future is definitely murky. A little Lautrec. Okay, well, let's head back to the depths. I mean, I say let's go back to the depths, but it's we haven't been in the depths, and it's not the way that we were going. But we're back in the we're back at the Kaerper Demon fight. So the Kaerper Demon is kind of a notorious boss for being difficult because of the additional enemies in there, and also because of the very tiny boss area. There is a really easy way of doing Kaerper Demon if you feel like cheesing it a bit. You can go to the Undead Merchant and you can buy yourself some dung pie. And if you aim carefully and throw a couple of dung pies, you will actually hit him inside and he will be toxic. If you manage to toxic him once with the dung pies, he will eventually die. It takes a little while before he dies, like a few minutes or so, but eventually he will, and after that you can just collect the reward and not be killed by the dogs. And easy peasy. But we're not doing easy peasy now, are we? We could make the fight a little bit easier though by using all our gold pine resin. Oh. Oh, for the love of God. Some gold pine resin is always a good thing to use. As you probably saw when I entered the boss room, the first thing that I did was just wail with my sword, and I was lucky enough to kill one of the dogs straight away that way. When you enter the boss fight, you will always be attacked by one of the dogs and the Kaerper Demon. It's not until you pass like this point here, I think it is, when the other dog is aggroed to you. I've actually killed them a bunch of times without the second dog ever aggroing at all, but you make the fighting area super small, and well, if you have a good shield, then he is like Kaerper Demon on its own is super easy. Really, the only thing that you have to look out for is the two-handed like slam that he has, and except for that, he's just like you circle around him, you hold your shield up, and just wail on him a little bit, and he's dead. Gold pine resin, people. So we got the key to the depths. Key opening the door from the lower Undead Berg to the depths. Those banished from the Undead Berg eke out their existence in the depths, a damp lair with no trace of sunlight. Nearly half of the depths form a perilous, flooded labyrinth. That's where the unwanted are. One of the places in this game where they throw away unwanted people. We can get a look at an ambush later on from one of the butchers. What I kind of like to do in this place, if I'm not caring about like playing this for lore or whatever, if I just want to play through the game, I usually skip most of this and just from... Dear Lord. You calm down now, sir. You get caught in their combo there. They hit so freaking hard. Well, anyway, if you run and you jump here, you can actually hit the ledge of the railing here and kind of bump down, and from there you can just take the ember in that chest and just get out of there. Really, it's kind of a quick, easy way of going about it. That way you don't have to fight any of the hollows or the dogs or the butcher. But this playthrough, we don't do that. We go through and try to do this normally. You really want to take care of the dog first, the dogs. And for the butcher, you kind of mostly want to watch out for her grab attack that she has with the left-handed weapon. Other than that, she's not really that difficult. Like, that grab attack is no bueno. It's really easy to just backstab. And we get the sack. And in here we find our first ember, the large ember. Ember required for weapon ascension, a large, high quality ember, handled by the blacksmiths of Stora. Ascension for +5 weapon, allows the reinforcement to 10. Yeah, it's not very interesting. We found the divine ember before as well. Last episode I didn't even mention that, but that one will allow us to upgrade weapons in the divine upgrading path, and that is gonna be useful for us later on. It's useful for fighting skeletons and whatnot. And if these guys always kind of weird me out because they have a very weird aggro range, because they are not aggroed on us here if we just walk this path, even though they can clearly see us because they look at us, like they turn towards us, but they don't attack. Now we are ambushed by this butcher that we didn't see coming at all. Maybe I should try to get hit by this. See how it looks. Hey. Show me a grab attack. Ooh. It's been a long time since I saw that. I didn't even remember that that was what she would do, but that was pretty cool. I gotta say, we got 2 sacks.
You. Yes, you. Here, over here. Please, you must help me.
Again, one of my favorite voice actors in the game.
Thank you. I would have been at supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, of the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt to you. Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Nice. Okay, so now we have Laurentius saved, and he's gonna move back up into the to Firelink Shrine as well. The way that I like to go through the depths is from the back. It just kind of makes it all a little bit easier, I think. So we, instead of going the quote-unquote normal way, we plop down here and we go pick up this excellent shield that we're gonna use a lot in Blighttown. The spider shield is a really good shield. Shield of the savage mountain bandits, uniquely shaped with a large black spider etched upon it, has resistance to poison and toxic. Very, very important. It nullifies toxic and poison attacks. It's really nice. And here we can just do a quick little plunge attack and hopefully not die to Big Mama Rat. No? Thought we could... This one we can kill, yeah. And this right here is the... like, right up there is the bonfire of the depths. We're gonna get to that a bit later. We have important business to do down here first. We have important business and we want to go back up to the Berg again. Whoop. There we go. So these enemies you could use the spider shield for as well to get rid of the poison buildup. These because okay, so let's take one thing at a time. Over there we have a channeler, and he's buffing them. That's why they are like a little bit. They aren't buff. Yeah, they are. They're glowing a little bit blue. So he's moving around there, attacking us from afar. Dear Lord, the lock on there kind of messed with me pretty badly. So we want to try to attract those guys, and we can do that with just some throwing knives. Works wonders here. That we picked up in the Berg. Because especially when these guys are buffed, you really don't want to fight them and have the channeler shooting at you at the same time. We attract him, go back here. And now there's only the channeler out there. already running a bit low on Estus though. And he's actually standing at a very bad spot for me, because right next to him is some boxes with an ambush. So instead of going for him right now, we're gonna head in here and just pick up a few more items and kill some more rats. So we're gonna come back to the channeler in just a tiny bit. It's kind of surprised me that they didn't even die from one hit. So we plop in here. Man, the rats today, they are relentless. Usually they are more passive, I feel like. We find a great axe there, which is not super interesting, but a pretty nice weapon. Has some kind of bad reach though. It's a really short one, but it's really heavy but short. And now the channeler is out of the way of the ambush, so we go to him. You cannot backstab him, and you really don't want to get hit by his trident, because he hits super hard. And you want to kill him especially for a very good reason right here, because he down here is the boss room. And if you leave him alive up here, he will actually buff the boss as well, which you kind of don't want. It's not really a super dangerous boss, to be honest, but I mean, if you can help it, you kind of don't want a boss to be buffed. I think he can shoot from up there, or from up here as well, which would probably be the most annoying thing about it, but if you're not careful enough with the boss and you get hit by him, because the boss has kind of really like easy attacks to avoid, but if you get hit by them, they can hit really hard. So you don't want to end up being one shot by them. And here we stay to the left so that we don't fall down the little hole. Here I like to take care of these rats first. Holy donkey doodle. Okay, now we need to reassess. I'm just gonna use a humanity to heal. Up. Okay, that was all. Dear Lord. Rats don't like me today. So these slime things, they can actually drop large titanite slabs. No, not slabs. Large titanite shards. Would be a little bit too much if they drop slabs, but yeah, and they take a while to kill, if you're not using fire on them. If you're using fire, they're very trivial, and it's a very good reason why you kind of want to go back to Firelink Shrine and talk to Laurentius before you go further down. You have a little rat. Well, I mean, in real life that would be a huge freaking rat, but in this world it's a tiny little rat, and he's not gonna do us any harm. But moving in further into the depth, we have these guys, the basilisks. They are one of one of very, very, very few enemies in the game that can make you cursed. And as the game stands right now, they are not really that dangerous because the curse build-up is very slow now. They were super dangerous in early builds of the game that I never played. I didn't play the game that far, that early on, I should say. The very first time that I played this game was actually when it was already released on PC. So if you want a little bit of a time frame there, I don't remember what year it was or anything, but I never played it on console. I actually had a friend that was really into Demon Souls and really wanted me to try this game for a long time, but I kind of didn't probably because I was playing other stuff, probably World of Warcraft or some nonsense, and it took me a long while before I actually tried it. There's Kirk. He's invading us. I didn't even mention that, but yeah, he's an NPC invader, and he's coming for me. I'm a little bit surprised that he made it this far. Usually he doesn't. And Kirk is gonna be very kind of interesting. There's not a whole lot to Kirk, but he's an interesting character that we're gonna talk more about later on. We're gonna be able to get invaded by him 3 times throughout the game, and if we do all 3 times, then we get his complete armor set. From doing the invasions, we will get his weapon and shield. You have a chance for them to drop every time that you kill him during an invasion, but when you kill him the 3rd time, you're guaranteed to have the weapon and the shield. The armor you only get if you complete all 3 times and well, go pick it up, obviously. But for right now, pretty much all we can really say about Kirk is that he's someone who invades people because he wants their humanity, and we'll learn later on why he wants our humanity. So we're actually not gonna do the boss yet, I think. No, we're not. We are, however, gonna talk a little bit with Donald.
Aye, Shemai, and good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
From what I've heard, his Shiwai, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's like Gaelic or something, I think. I'm pretty sure someone has told me that it's Gaelic. He sells some gold pine resin, the bottomless box again, and some crystallized gear, some weapons and a shield. The crystal stuff is interesting because they increase the base damage of the weapon, but you cannot repair them. So if it breaks, it breaks. You can trick it a little bit by upgrading it when it starts to break, so that you upgrade it to the next level, and you regain the durability. But when you can't upgrade it anymore, then and it breaks, then it breaks. He kind of sells these here just to, I think it's just to make sure that the player has a weapon that is good enough for the boss here, and try to just indicate what type of damage that you should be dealing out at this point. He has some standard arrows and stuff, and you can buy his armor set as well. So he's from Sina, and Sina is a land that we won't really know. Well, we won't really learn anything about it except that Domhnall is from Sina, and that he's a curious dealer. The helmet here is actually a helmet that is based off of a real life helmet that was probably not ever worn in battle, but like more of an ornate thing, like a curiosity to have. But that helmet exists in real life.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
He's gonna be...
Well, that is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again. I'm always available. Not every trade was meant to be. There'll be more in store for us someday, sometime.
He's gonna be very interesting and important for us later on for lore reasons and not really gameplay. But yeah, and this is the door down to Blighttown that we haven't gotten to yet. I hope we can open this door. We can, yeah. So here we are again, where we looked in earlier on, and we can climb this little ladder here and go up here. What is over here? I haven't been over here in so long that I don't even remember. Oh, it's here? Oh, I completely forgot that there's a thing. Huh. I've never really used that before. Okay, cool. See, you play a game way too many times and you still find new stuff. So we have a bunch of slime on the ceiling. We won't really bother too much with that right now because we're gonna use the sewer key and unlock our bonfire. Do we want to unlock the bonfire? No, we don't. What was the last bonfire I was at? It was in Firelink Shrine, wasn't it? That's a much... You know what? We're gonna take the bone, homeward bone, back to Firelink Shrine, and then run to Andre. We'll see you there. All right, so back at Andre, we...
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me?
You really, really want my large ember.
Magnificent! You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
A bit. And we can also give him the divine ember.
Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed. But every hunk of...
Maybe we can't do that, but do we have to leave him and talk with him again?
My, that's a rare ember you have there. I've seen one of those before. It's the ember of a divine blacksmith. Might you consider leaving that with me? I could produce divine weapons with a flame such as that.
He's not as excited about the divine ember.
Well, thanks for that. You've made a fine decision. You soon shall see.
Cool. So now we can modify equipment and we can get our boulder sword up to +6. And from there we can reinforce it to +7. So now we need some more large titanite shards. So the big reason why I wanted to do this in particular before we head into the Blighttown is that we will be able to get this to +10 before hitting Quelaag, and that's gonna be very, very helpful. And we could actually get it from here to +10 before even continuing with the depths if we just farmed a little bit at the slimes in the depths, which is actually something that I would recommend, because it's really, really helpful. And for this I'm gonna buy the smithing boxes, and let's just pick up the repair box too, because why not? And
Don't get yourself, get neither of it.
we can upgrade our stuff in the bonfire instead of having to go back to Andre to do it. There is also one more thing that we kind of want to pick up before heading to Blighttown, and that is a ring from that will help us traverse the swampiness down in Blighttown. So we're gonna go and we're gonna pick up that real quick, and for that we're gonna have to go down this elevator and take a ride back to the Undead Asylum. Maybe I should yeah, I think I'm just gonna try the boss and just finish everything in the Undead Asylum straight away. It's not really something that I like doing with the character so low as in like upgrades as this, but we can give it a go. We can give it a go. So we head up here and we pretend to be an egg. I really love the slow-mo shot of us being in the grips of the crow there. It's just fantastic. So I'm really not used to being here with such a weak weapon and whatnot, but we're gonna try our best. I'm gonna get my vitality up a little bit so that we have a better chance of doing this. And now that we come back to the Undead Asylum again, where it all first started, there's some Black Knights that have wandered in. Get a red titanite chunk from those, which would will be useful for upgrading in the fire path of the weapon ascensions, which we're not gonna do. But and here's Oscar. He's all hollowed out. He's no longer the happy-go-lucky undead that we know him as. He's now just a husk of his former self. Oh, that was quicker than I thought it would be, Oscar. Did I parry his kick? Didn't even know that was a thing. Goodbye, Oscar. We got the crest shield. It's actually a pretty decent shield, the crest shield. It's really high magic defense with 80. Fire 55, lightning 45, stability 55. It's really decent. Shield of a nameless knight, likely a high-ranked knight of Astora. One of the enchanted blue shields. The crest shield greatly reduces magic damage. We will find another one later on as well that instead of high magic resistance has high fire. But yeah, if you want to go with the elite knight set, those are definitely the shields to go for, I think. The only fitting thing. So, going in here, there's all of a sudden another guy here for some reason. Why you here? Huh? He was not there before. But now, because of the key that we found in the Firelink Shrine, we can now go in here and finally get the item in this stairway that was previously out of reach for us, which is the Rusted Iron Ring. The Rusted Iron Ring is not really interesting in a lore perspective per se, but it will help us to traverse areas that are like filled with water or tar or whatever, where you would have a problem like moving normally, really. So it's a really, really nice thing to pick up before heading to Blighttown in particular. So now we go in here and we get rid of those two, and we can... Is there anything? Get away? No. Yeah, there's just the one from the start. But now for some reason the floor breaks. And we are introduced to another demon, just like the Asylum demon, but a little bit stronger. He's got some magic AoE attacks. There we go. So I played him very, very passively because I mean, he does a lot of damage. We got a Titanite slab from him, which is one out of very few Titanite slabs that you can get in the entire game, which is the only thing that can get your weapon from plus 14 to 15. But yeah, for him is just stay behind him. It's not super hard, but like if you lose focus, like his damage is quite severe, especially with the stupid AoE damage and whatnot. But yeah, we managed to get through that too. It's just I had a very, I mean, my damage is kind of puny compared to what you would usually have when you face the stray demon. We got the Black Knight shield, and coming back here, which is actually the our cell, the place that we started this playthrough. There's a new corpse with a peculiar doll on it, and this a strange doll in a strange dress. There once was an abomination who had no place in this world. He clutched this doll tightly, and eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely painted world. So that was the doll of Priscilla. Well, Priscilla's doll, I should say. And we're gonna use that later on to get into the painted world of Ariamis. And it's just kind of funny how some really nice, important things in this game is so hidden. Because I mean, if you don't like look up videos and whatnot on this, like how many people would actually find this at all? And well, I mean, when you found the peculiar doll itself, it's kind of easy to know where to go with it, because I mean, you go into a huge painting and you kind of know what to look for there. But I'm pretty sure that I would not have found my way back to the Undead Asylum had I not watched videos on how to do it. Now we can just go back to Firelink Shrine. And now that we have our rusted ring that will allow us to move easier down in Blighttown, and we have the large ember with Andre, we have the smithing boxes in our bonfire, so that we can upgrade our weapon to plus 10 while we're down in the depths. We are now pretty set to go through and finish up the depths, and also to go down into Blighttown. We are gonna level up a little bit, get some endurance, and before we head back down there, we are gonna talk to Laurentius. Hey, bro.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy of the Great Swamp, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
And here a lot of people answer it wrong, but he asks you if you find pyromancy unsavory. So the question is not do you want my help? Do you want my pyromancy? No. The question is, do you find pyromancy to be unsavory? Like, do you hate pyromancy? And we don't.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this. A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now.
So he shares his pyromancy flame with us. It's a kind of a part of him that he gives to us, and that will allow us to use pyromancies. And for what we have going right now, the combustion would actually be very, very useful for me. So we're gonna buy a combustion. We don't really have a whole lot of interest in the other ones. This one has a mention though. Pyromancy of Carmina, who harnessed the power of flame to actualize the inner self. Intense sweating reduces flame damage. Carmina, the most accomplished pupil of Salaman, the master pyromancer, pioneered new directions for the art of pyromancy. We don't know a whole lot about Salaman. I mean, Salaman is really interesting because, I mean, he's the master of pyromancy. So he would be very interesting to learn more about, but we will get a little bit more from later on when we meet another pupil of Salaman.
Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time. Pyromancy has a, well, rather primitive aspect to it. It meshes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavory, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing. A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. When I gave you that flame, I gave you a part of myself. Please take good care of it.
I will. We can modify the equipment, just upgrading the flame a bit with just using souls. The kind of a little bit interesting thing about pyromancy is that you don't need any actual like personal skill with it. You just need souls.
Goodbye then. Come back if you find anything new.
And I mean, obviously you need someone that gives you their part of the flame as well, like he did for us now. And having that, do I even have any attunement slots? Nope, I don't. Okay, we can't use it. No. God dang it. Well, I'm gonna take care of that, and I'm also probably gonna upgrade the weapon to +10 before we move on. Show a little bit about how the farming for that works in the beginning of next episode. But for now, we've been going on for long enough, and we're making good way. And next time we will take on the end of the depths, and hopefully get us all the way through Blighttown if we're lucky. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.